BOOreau Boys is an improvised detective serial. Every Monday morning, the BOOreau Boys solve crimes based on clues sent in by their Pumpkinformants. That's you. Go to theBOOreauBoys.com to submit your clues.
Thank you to Informant Kent for this week's clue. Angle.
When we last left the BOOreau Boys, they had just left that area by the GPS coordinates with a hemp shop and a Halloween store. They had smoked some hemp, but Detective Riley almost had his head blown off by a man known only as Johnny G.
But we're pretty sure it was the one and only Johnny Greenwich, husband to apothecariist and witch Gloria Greenwich,
and father to Dr. Emily Cornelius, rest in peace.
Indeed, for on the way to the hemp shop, the boys caught sight of Dr. Emily Cornelius. She didn't go to medical school just to be called Emily Cornelius. Don't forget the doctor. Anyway, they saw her burning. Not alive, she was already dead, but she probably did burn alive for a little while before the boys arrived in her car.
Now that we're saying it out loud, technically, that was a charred corpse. It wasn't necessarily Dr. Emily Cornelius. It could have been somebody else in Dr. Emily Cornelius's car. Also, I would like to point out that Johnny Greenwich died of old age because he appeared to have been taking some youth juice, and it was maybe run out, and he suddenly aged before the BOOreau Boys' very eyes and withered into dust.
Left behind was a vial of this youth juice, and on the vial was a little fingerprint that the boys were able to trace and point towards their next location, the center of town, where the great stone boulder of our town, of their town, we don't live there, we're just narrators.
Don't you sometimes feel like we live everywhere, though?
Yes, it's tough being omniscient, omnipresent,
and impotent.
That's the hardest of all. Or is
not.
It?
Detective Riley, thank you for also navigating us back with your fingers and toes, but I know the way to the center of town, Detective Riley. We live in this town. Detective Riley!
Detective Potter slaps Detective Riley twice in the face.
Snap out of it, Detective Riley. We have work to do. Just because it seems quiet around this boulder doesn't mean there's not evil lurking around the corner, Detective Riley.
Ooh, I can feel a chill in the air. Did the clouds just cover the sun? I think so. And wait, what's that creeping up behind us?
The BOOreau Boys spin around to face a haggard old woman. She's foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog.
So, it is you, the ones who broke into my house, who spoke to my horny parakeets, who touched my late husband's football and baseball memorabilia.
Oh, thank God you know about your husband. We were not part of that. I assume you're Gloria Greenwich.
Yeah. Of course I'm Gloria Greenwich. Don't you see how haggard I am?
Well, we've run into a lot of haggard people. There was this old pirate who sounded a little bit like you that we met on this one case in this town that was enclosed by a dome. I'm so sorry. Can I call you Miss Greenwich?
No, you may not. It's apothecariest, holiest, but unholiest, Lord of, and Lord beneath, and beside darkness, Greenwich.
Okay, how much school do you have to go through to get that title, Greenwich?
A couple of online study programs, and I got my certificate in 10, maybe 11 weeks. I was a little slower than the other students.
You even said the word slower than the other students probably did.
I have my credentials back in my office if you want to see them.
No, I don't.
But
No, wait a minute. How the heck do you know that we met your parakeets and that we saw your... Have you been watching us?
No. Here, I brought my parakeets with me.
Oh, no.
They told me everything.
Wait a minute. You're saying that your parakeets have been flying around over our heads this entire time, tracking our every move? Like the Eye of Sauron? Detective Riley, I'll explain it to you later.
Yeah, is that like a Marvel's Avengers thing?
Yeah, I'll explain
or
later.
Is that more of a...
No.
Okay. That's right. As Detective Potter and Riley look up to the sky, they see two tiny black dots, and then their faces are suddenly splashed with the white poop of a parakeet.
2 parakeets even, for this one is here too.
What? Yeah, bitches!
Brock, didn't think you could get that far, did you?
Brock, who do you think separated you in the house? We knew that you were coming, and we're the ones who laid that trap so that we could...
Suddenly, both parakeets are sucked into the engine of a passing jet.
Oh, my precious parakeets.
Okay, Detective Riley, that was also another Lord of the Rings reference, but I'll explain it to you later.
Okay, I was thinking like a Chronicles of Narnia
No.
Or is this like... Oh, okay. Oh, you boys have caused me nothing but anguish. Much like the anguish I've caused to this town.
That seems like it should have been my line, because that's about exactly what I was going to say. You've been causing anguish around this town since 1999, maybe even further back.
Are you the cause of Y2K? I might have shown a computer or two to the Tasteful Cabinet, but not much happened, if you remember.
Of course it wouldn't have happened. If you showed that computer to the Tasteful Cabinet, maybe what happened was that it was programmed in that all those computers would destroy our world economy, but since you showed them the Tasteful Cabinet, that made them not able to do the one thing that they were designed in this world to do. Isn't that right, Gloria?
Gloria Greenwich spins in circles. Her face takes on the faces of Dr. Emily Cornelius, of Johnny Greenwich, of Guerno Suziette, of all the townspeople. It's like that scene at the end of Terminator 2 Judgment Day when the Terminator's melting and he shows his face as all the forms of basically all the characters we saw in that movie, except for Eddie Furlong and Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, you remember that?
Yeah, we've got it, thank you.
Who the hell are you? What happened to the other narrator?
I'm just the narrator's younger brother. Oh no, my big bro's coming. I better get out of here.
And a third narrator comes in and dismisses that narrator.
I'm sorry about that narrator. I don't know how he got in here.
As Gloria Greenwich spins and spins and spins, she comes to a rest and faces the BOOreau Boys in her original haggard form.
You've spoiled my great plan to take down this town.
Just like the note said.
Yes, and my stupid daughter should have listened to me.
She seemed like she was listening to you.
Yes, but then she gets remorseful and puts my note back in the lamp.
I knew Guerno Suziette wouldn't have been with her. He's such a kind soul. I knew he wouldn't have been with her if she hadn't also been a kind soul.
Yes, he's kind of a pervert, but he's nice.
I'll tell you who was a real pervert. That gym teacher we crucified. And he pinned a lot of child things on us, and all of a sudden we have a bunch of restraining orders against us. That's why we had to crucify him. I just want that to be super clear for the record.
I don't care. This isn't about him.
But we're in front of the courthouse, so I just want to, if anyone's listening, I just want to say we had nothing to do with any of that kid stuff that was happening at the Catholic school.
As Detective Potter exclaims his innocence, a few townspeople start to gather around the commotion.
And also, the giant boulder in the center of the town begins to glow an eerie bluish-green glow. Smoke slowly seeps out from underneath the boulder, but everyone is too engaged in this riveting conversation to notice.
Now, boys, you've caused me enough anguish. Time is up, and it's time for you to meet your fates.
Just as Gloria Greenwich says this, the clock tower in the center of town strikes 3 p.m.
What a weird time. You're a witch. You would think midnight would be the big showdown.
3 is for daytime witches. It's a daytime witching hour. You know, like when stay-at-home moms like to watch Oprah or Good Morning America. There's certain times for those things.
Yes, the morning. That's why it's called Good Morning America, Gloria. I guess 3 o'clock kind of is the midnight of the afternoon.
Well, let me just say good afternoon to you.
As Gloria Greenwich says this, she hoists her hands up onto the air. Lightning comes down from the skies and strikes Gloria and strikes the boulder. It encircles the BOOreau Boys in lightning and annihilates all of the town people who had been standing around watching this happen.
Gloria, God damn it, you killed all those people.
How could you? Detective Potter, there's so much death in our wake.
There is a huge amount of death. I feel like it's an Avengers. You know what? Never mind. Detective Riley, I know you won't understand that reference either.
Is that the one with the wizard with the scratch on his forehead? Okay.
Detective Riley, thank God everyone that we knew in this town were detectives and they were all killed in that one karaoke outing. Because my heart would be broken in two. My heart's already been breaking for this town for all this time, Gloria Greenwich, that you've been terrorizing this town. And yes, I used the T word.
Oh, you've done it now. Yes, I've been terrorizing. Of course I have.
Gloria Greenwich rips open her shirt to reveal a QAnon t-shirt underneath it.
Oh my God!
Yes, my online foot soldiers. They've been hacking your computers. Have you noticed? Nothing works in your offices.
Nothing does work. Our cell phones don't even work. Wait a minute. Was this all part of the scheme for Y2K? We didn't think that anything happened, but something actually did happen? Is this a 21-year long con, Gloria Greenwich?
To take down the Bureau.
To take down the Bureau. Detective Riley, this has been all about us, all these dead people. This is just to stop us.
Right. Well, we've got to stop her.
You got any ideas? I'm sorry to say this, but I left all my stuff in the trunk of the car on the way over. And it's on the other side of that lightning wall.
Yes, because erected around the boys is a thick wall of lightning. A big wall. A great wall. A wall that Gloria's been promising to build for 4 years.
I'm sorry, did I not establish that when I said that she was encircled by a lightning thing that killed all the townspeople?
I just wanted to clarify how big it was. Shoot me. Wait a minute, Detective Potter. I realized something.
What? Yeah.
I have one weapon left in my pocket. The bullets.
The bullets!
Yeah.
Detective Riley. Wait a minute.
What are you thinking?
If I've learned anything about science, all it takes to make a bullet deadly, Detective Riley, is just a little bit of energy. Maybe from a bolt of lightning?
So, Detective Riley rips off his shirt, revealing long strands of hair, and unfurls his beard.
Over his QAnon t-shirt.
Detective Riley, we have to talk about this when this case is all over.
Okay, I go down some rabbit holes, weird rabbit holes on the internet. Sue me.
Detective Riley, before you do what I think you think you're gonna do?
Pull a Benjamin Franklin?
What?
I'm gonna pull a Benjamin Franklin. Is that what you thought I was gonna do?
Yes. Use the lightning to ignite those bullets and kill Gloria Greenwich?
Yes.
Do you think that we should ask her any questions about why she did all this? Because I have some. Did she fall backwards into the cabinet?
Right. Was she
obviously
always
she's
evil?
got some weird powers that are centered around this stone.
Why does she hate this town so much? Whoa.
Does this matter? She just killed a bunch of people and could kill us.
Well, you are the one that had questions.
I just want to be sure that we're sure together, because I want this bitch to die. I'm sorry, I meant witch.
There's nothing more I want than to see this witch scream in agonizing pain on her deathbed.
Detective Riley, then I think we can take a trick from our old playbook.
Detective Potter grabs Detective Riley and hoists him up onto his shoulders.
Because Detective Riley, if this lightning wall kills one of us, I want it to kill both of us in a heroic effort to...
Just as Detective Potter says that, Detective Riley reaches out toward the lightning wall with one shiny metal bullet, because Detective Riley is one of those types of people who sneaks down on Christmas Eve and opens all of his gifts. He can't wait. He can't be kept in suspense. There's no such thing as a dramatic pause for Detective Riley.
Victory is mine! Just as Detective Riley exclaims victory prematurely, to be sure, a bullet shoots from his hands, being electrocuted, firing right past Gloria Greenwich, ricocheting off the boulder next to her. Didn't think it would be that easy, did ya?
I don't know, I was kind of hoping. This seemed like such a good plan.
One bullet's not enough to stop me. Not one.
Especially not one that doesn't even hit you. Well, if we're gonna miss her, Detective Riley, I have a couple questions.
Okay, well, I ready the second bullet. Go ahead and ask your questions.
Okay, and remember, Detective Riley, we only get 3 questions that she has to answer, so we have to make them count.
Okay, and I only have 2 bullets left.
Oh, no. If this goes badly, then, Detective Riley, there's one for each of us.
But I'm not going to kill you. Then I'd be left alone. And killing myself, that's just against, my religion.
Okay, well, I will happily kill you and kill myself. Okay, I'm going to take the first question. Is that okay with you, Detective Riley?
She's not asking you any questions.
No, I'm going to ask her questions.
All right,
we only get 3, remember. And let's do this like fantasy draft rules. I get the first question and you get the next 2.
Okay, but I'll defer one to you. I'll let you ask your 3 questions. I'm the one shooting the bullets. I'm having way more fun up here.
Okay, you have no questions about everything that's happened to us in this case.
I got one. I'm saying you get 2.
Okay, you go first then.
Oh, no, you go first.
Okay, Gloria Greenwich, what's the deal with the Tasteful Cabinet? And remember, we are cops, so you have to tell us.
An ordinary citizen would have gotten a big fat lie from me. But seeing as you two are officers of some law,
The Bureau.
Oh, yes, I'm very familiar. I just don't respect your laws. Except for this, in this context, when you're asking me a question. So, the Tasteful Cabinet. Yes, of course. Well, it was not my choice to move into a house. I was just a young, hung, ready to fuck young lady. I just wanted
I'm sorry. Can this not count as a question if I have a follow-up question? Do you have a penis?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm just curious.
And me and Johnny, I've always had a very feminine look about me. But me and Johnny, we were in love, and I just wanted a sweetheart house to fuck around in. And when we first moved in, everything was hunky-dory, peachy keen.
A-okay?
Yes, exactly. And then we bought a couple parakeets. We were on the up and up. But for most of the time, we only stayed on the bottom level. We didn't go upstairs. No need. We were too busy making love in the kitchen, in the living room, in the foyer.
We've been in that house. All of the showers were upstairs. And if you were having that much sex, maybe this is why you look... How old are you? This doesn't count as a question. How old are you, Gloria?
92 tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you'd be way younger. Oh, I guess because Johnny was super old and then age. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
92. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Shut up. Now, so we went upstairs, finally ready to bathe after weeks, months even, of just hardcore, pornographic, slippy sliding.
Okay, thank you. Good, gross.
I went upstairs, and this cabinet, it had a strange odor. It had some mold around it, rust even.
Yeah. We've seen it.
The glass. I didn't understand it. I figured, just a fixer-upper. And I said, hey, Johnny, check this out. So he did. He was the first victim. His arms became weak. His foot was clubbed. And I knew he couldn't play baseball anymore. And he left it open before he fell after he opened it. Fell onto the floor, screaming and squirming. And I tried to close it. I tried so hard. But it got a hold of me. The dark energy. The tastes. All the horrid tastes you could ever taste flew out of that medicine cabinet. You know how medicine tastes? Really bad.
Yeah, like Listerine.
Yes. Yes, but worse.
So, Gloria, if I may, that doesn't count as a question. Gloria, so all the evil flew out of this medicine cabinet. You didn't mean to inflict Johnny with these horrible tragedies. The medicine cabinet really got inside of you.
Yeah. Yes, it's deep inside. It's latched its scent. Its horrid tastes deep in my guts. And now I'm inflicted with the curse of perpetuating the evil inside that medicine cabinet.
But you love Johnny so much that you've kept him young this whole time, even as you got old and gross and haggard. He was so handsome right up until he withered into ash right before our very eyes.
Of course, I like to keep my man ready and hunky.
Yeah, your parakeet said you guys fuck all the time still. Well, not anymore.
Yes, I can't. The medicine wouldn't work on me, for I have the curse of the cabinet in my soul. I can't turn back my ugliness, but Johnny, he could look past all that. He saw me for who I really was. And you boys just watched him wither away, melt.
Gloria, this is kind of beautiful. This is a truly beautiful love story between you and Johnny Greenwich. But why did you keep inflicting it on the town? Just because the cabinet was possessing you to do so?
No, because we were very poor before we moved into that house, and we needed a lot of help. And you know how at the end of what's that great Christmas movie?
Love Actually? Die Hard?
I hate Hugh Grant. No, not Bruce Willis's shit. No, I'm
It's
talking...
a Wonderful Life?
Yes!
As Gloria Greenwich screams out, yes, she once again spins in circles, and now the lightning wall is joined by a fire wall. Not the one that might have saved us from Y2K, but a different one. A literal one.
Now there's a double wall, one of fire, the other of electricity, surrounding the boys. Just to reiterate.
Detective Riley, this seems like overkill to have these two walls. I wasn't going to jump through that lighting wall, were you?
God, no. I was going to burrow down through a hole beneath us.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, good idea.
I'm thinking ahead. Thank you. And by the way, this bullet's ready. Detective Riley thrusts his hand in the air with another bullet, and this time a fireball hits the bullet, shooting it across the meadow straight towards Gloria Greenwich's heart, but it misses her heart.
Detective Riley, do you think the reason that there's this obviously weird dark magic rock in the middle of our town, it's because we decided to build the town around that beautiful Native American meadow? Instead of just having a town square or like a plaza in the middle?
Yeah, and also I think that the it looks like a nice, beautiful meadow, but I think when they were doing the construction, they moved a bunch of, like, little stone monuments that were here, and, like, in the shape of crosses and, like, like tombstone-type shaped rocks that were here, and then they had to move them off, but they didn't do anything underground. They just kind of moved those away.
As Detective Riley says this, the BOOreau Boys look at the one remaining rock in the center of the square, and they notice that it is actually in the shape of a monument. A monument to the founder of the town.
Detective Riley, I never realized this. We weren't building the town around an Indian burial meadow. We were building it around the grave of our great town founder. Yeah. Your stunned silence is enough gratification for me, Detective Riley, for that revelation. But yeah, and remember who our town founder is? Ryan Stiles Sr.
Of course. The funniest man in vaudeville.
That's why his headstone, I never noticed this before, his headstone is just a big smile emoji.
Yes, it is. I'm just going to affirm that because we're in the midst of a battle with a witch. Let me remind you.
Yes, and we could save the town if we have this option.
Wait.
I will.
Are you saying we need to get that rock to smash Gloria Greenwich's head in? What are you saying?
I think that you only have one bullet left. I think, Detective Riley, because that second one missed as well, right?
Well, I think it hit her. It just missed her heart. But we haven't gotten back to that conversation with her yet, so we don't know exactly where she was afflicted.
Oh, okay. Do you want to check real quick?
Yes, let's go check back in on her.
Okay. Hey, Gloria. I'd love to call you a doctor, but you burned down all the hospitals within 40 yards of the downtown.
You hit my pussy. Oh,
God.
It hurts.
We can leave you to it if you want.
No, I'm not finished with my story yet.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, thank God you missed my giant cock. The pussy I can do without. So, anyway, it was a real It's a Wonderful Life situation. All the towns, at the end of the movie, where all the townspeople chip in to pay off the debts.
Never seen it.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding, I have.
Oh, you make me so angry. Oh, you can't get over one on me. So anyway, spoiler alert. They all chip in at the end. It's a very happy ending. But instead of the ending of the movie, this was the beginning of me and Johnny's movie. All the townspeople said, "Oh, we'll get you a house. Sure we will." And they all chipped in to get us the old, barred up, weird house on Maple Street.
That makes sense.
Right. So it was they who suggested. They had a big townsfolk meeting and said, where should Johnny and Gloria live? How about that house where they have no money? How about we pitch in for them? And they did. They all raised the funds. They got us in there, and we were very grateful until we opened that tasteful medicine cabinet.
And you think that the townspeople did it intentionally. But I can tell you, it doesn't matter. Is that what you were going to say?
Yes,
Motive matters to me, Gloria Greenwich. And the townspeople had nothing but good intentions in their heart. Because along with studying the plats of subdivision of every town that I go to and live in, I also read all of the town minutes dating back at least 50 years for each town if they're available. And I remember vividly reading those notes from that town hall meeting where they all decided to do the right thing and buy you guys a house because everyone felt so horrible about that one inning that Johnny pitched that went so disastrously. Why did they even have him pitching? I still can't get over that. That they decided to buy you a house. It's right here in the minutes.
So Detective Potter pulls from his back satchel a copy of the minutes, a mimeograph showing that all the townspeople truly loved Gloria Greenwich and Johnny Greenwich. They were proud of Johnny Greenwich. They thought he would be the next Ryan Stiles to come out of the town. And they were devastated when his career in baseball or football did not pan out.
And yet, the town is still only known for Johnny Greenwich, and not for Ryan Stiles at all.
But more for Johnny Greenwich being a failed baseball player, which is terribly sad. It's like that song Glory Days, when they only think about how good Johnny used to be, and not how good he could have become.
So you see, Gloria, this town has always loved you, and all you've been doing is inflicting pain on this town. For 21 years you've been inflicting pain and suffering on this town. I know that the cabinet has a spell over you, but I feel like maybe it could be broken with the power of love. Detective Riley, that's another Back to the Future reference. We're in the middle of a town square.
Oh, yeah.
And our town is called Hill Valley.
Is that the one where a couple gets lost in the desert, and then there's these weird people in the hills who, like, come down there?
Never mind, Detective Riley. No. What is that one that you're talking about? The hills have eyes?
How would I know? I don't watch TV.
Okay, never mind. Detective Riley, I think we need to save Gloria, not kill Gloria. Hand me that bullet.
So Detective Riley hands Detective Potter his final remaining bullet. Detective Potter approaches Gloria Greenwich and hands her the bullet.
Gloria isn't feeling quite up to herself, seeing as though her pussy's been injured with the last bullet shot, and she's used up a lot of energy to get a firewall put up and an electricity wall put up, so she's kind of weak and allows Detective Potter to approach.
Gloria, I'm going to take a different angle with how we approach your eventual demise as a villain, Gloria.
You're going to come...
I'm going to come at you a different way. Is that what you were going to say?
Yes.
Gloria, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to end this way. Look at this bullet, Gloria.
It's tiny and full of gunpowder.
Yes, and notice on the outside, Gloria, it doesn't have your name on it.
You're right. It has a little S and W.
Yes. A little SW for Smith & Wesson.
Yes?
Or, since the Bureau doesn't pay for name brands, for Samson and Wesson. The bullets that they give us. Frankly, Gloria, 1 out of every 3 bullets doesn't fire of the brands that the Bureau gives us anyhow, so I'm kind of taking a calculated risk on this one that it's not even going to work. So, Gloria, I'm just saying, it doesn't have to end with more death. Look at all the bodies that are behind. Your daughter, Gloria. The love of your life, Johnny Greenwich, Gloria. Your 2 parakeets. Literally everyone, basically, that we've met along the route of this case. We don't know what happened to Garno Susie yet, but almost everyone that we've met has died already, Gloria. Isn't that enough?
Actually, I'm right here.
As Garno Suziette says this, the bullet rolls out of Gloria Greenwich's hands, rolls all the way to the firewall, ignites, and fires at Garno Suziette, piercing him directly through the heart.
Oh, God! Okay. You see, Gloria, if I hadn't had to make that metaphor, it would have been even one less person would have died on this case. That's enough, Gloria.
As Detective Potter finishes up his monologue, the walls begin to shrink in power and size.
The walls come down, not unlike the tears running down Gloria Greenwich's face.
But it's hard to tell because it starts raining. And you know what they say about tears in the rain?
No, narrator, I always explain my references. What's that one from? Are you talking Tears in Heaven? You know, that song about that kid that fell out the window?
I think it's a reference to Wall-E. Anyway, let's move on.
That might have been a Blade Runner reference, if that's what you're looking for.
Of course it was. I was just kidding around.
Anyhow, I think they're saying something down there.
And so that, Gloria, is why I think you should come back with us. We'll get you cleaned up, and we'll get you a job as our secretary at the bureau.
I'm too old to work. And the hatred, the medicine cabinet, it's got its grips in me. I can't let it go. It won't let me go.
Let me take one more angle. Detective Riley, do you still have that sinner's
mouth toothpaste? Yes, I do.
Yes. For that we swipe from the Tasteful Cabinet?
Yes, of course.
Detective Riley. Gloria, can we try something? Do you trust us?
No, but go ahead.
Fair enough. Detective Riley, I think you just need to brush your teeth with Sinner's Mouth toothpaste.
Oh, God.
The choice for Hill Valley toothpaste.
1 out of 5 dentists recommended. I know.
Yes, and 1 out of 3 of our bullets fire.
So, Detective Riley approaches Gloria Greenwich. He pulls a toothbrush from his pocket, as well as the Sinner's Mouth toothpaste. He puts a pea-sized amount onto the toothbrush and begins to brush Gloria Greenwich's old rotten teeth.
Gloria just stands there, looking confused, taking it.
As Detective Riley brushes off layer upon layer of tartar and plaque, Gloria Greenwich starts to age backwards.
Oh, the tastes. The tastes.
As she gets younger and younger, her former beauty comes to the surface.
Gloria? Gloria? Gloria?
Yeah.
Detective Riley runs forward and slaps her twice.
No, Detective Riley! Detective Riley! No. She's fine. Give her a second.
Oh, I'm so confused. But who? What? Oh.
Gloria?
Oh, my mouth. My mouth. It tastes so clean again. I've never tasted just a normal saliva in so many years.
Gloria. You're back.
I didn't think that the sinner's mouth would have such an effect on me.
Well, to be fair, you didn't take a shower for ages when you moved into that house, so I'm not surprised you don't have the greatest hygiene, but I think, Gloria, the sinner's mouth that was created at the apothecary by your poor departed daughter, I think it saved you.
Oh, my dearest Emily. She did the one thing she always wanted to do, which was to stop all this madness and hurt. She didn't want to be a part of it all. I made her. And for that, I should kill myself. No!
Gloria Greenwich levitates the giant rock in the middle of town and stands underneath it.
Wait, you still have witch powers?
Oh, I've been a witch since I was 7 years old. I've always had telekinesis.
Gloria, this is not worth it. If you have telekinesis, you can put this town on the map way more than Johnny did in his honor, way more than even Ryan Stiles did.
But I'm horrid. I'm wretched. On the inside, I'm goddamn gorgeous on the outside. No one can deny that.
How would you even know that?
Well, I can see myself. Gloria looks herself up and down. Nice. But is it worth it?
Yes, Gloria. This town is worth it. Let me tell you something about this town. People do not hate you, Gloria, and the ones that did are all dead. You killed them all. Gloria, let me tell you a little something about this town. You see that house over there behind City Hall?
Yes, the blue one with the yellow shutters?
Yes. When this town was first founded, that house used to be the mayor's house. And after that, it was a bootlegger that lived in this town. And then after that, it was a dance teacher. And that dance teacher taught poor Deanna, who can't be a dancer anymore because of the things that happened to her, because of this town. But, Gloria, the spell has been lifted. You can help all those people that are still afflicted. If there is any affliction left, you can help them.
I can go back to my apothecary. I shut it down for a couple days. You know, as I was getting ready to destroy the entire town.
Yes. And Gloria, there's nothing better than a little bit of healthy competition. I would say let other doctors, let other apothecaries move into our city limits, because when you're out of pills, it's really hard for Detective Riley to get his hookup.
Yeah, it's been a real dry spell, and my custies are angry. Let me tell you, they're fiending in the streets. I mean, I got guys coming to me 5 a.m. looking for a fix, and I got nothing to give them.
So you see, Gloria, you're one of the most important things that ever happened to this town. You can make your choice right now. You could either be a redemption story, or you can be another tragedy.
Gloria looks over at the statue of Ryan Stiles Sr., knowing that his ending was indeed a tragedy, and she didn't want to kill herself with a rock on top of this hill like he did. All right, I won't make the mistake that Ryan Stiles Sr. made, and I'll give my life a second chance, hoping that I can give this town a second chance, and I can do the right thing instead of the wrong thing, and I can finally get a puppy. I never wanted parakeets anyway. That was all Johnny's idea.
That's amazing, Gloria. Get her, Detective Riley.
So Detective Riley springs into action, tying her up using his beard. Hog-tying her, to be specific.
As he does, the Ryan Stiles tombstone begins to waver as Gloria is distracted. Detective Potter dives and shoves himself and Detective Riley out from under the boulder as it comes crashing down on Gloria Greenwich.
I saved your life, Detective Riley. Again.
But at the cost of what, Detective Potter?
Detective Riley, she was definitely going to stand trial and be put to death for the murders of so many people in this town.
Wait, what was all that crap about redemption? You can do the right thing. You can put our town on the map.
Detective Riley, I was trying to distract her. I gave you the wink. You were supposed to sneak around behind her and give her a little bit of like a purple nurple or something, and then she'd be distracted and the boulder would crash down and you'd be safe. I didn't think you were going to use your beard.
Well, no, I didn't see the wink. My eyes were getting misty. I mean, that was a beautiful moment.
Thank you so much, but I stole it from a movie. You know what? You wouldn't have seen it.
Field of Dreams?
No, we really have to get a Blockbuster card. Not the one that I use for my badge.
No, of course. That one's overcharged. So, Detective Riley and Detective Potter, survey the damage.
Another town laid waste by the BOOreau Boys.
Not just any town, their own town. And not laid waste, but saved, narrator.
Well, you say tomato, I say tomato. More like you say tomato, and I say tomato. I mean, there's going to be a lot of cleanup. There's a lot of bodies around. There's a big scorch mark all the way around the center of town.
Gloria Greenwich's body is smushed beneath that giant boulder. And just to be
That's
clear,
a good point.
There's the boulder, and then there's the statue of Ryan Stiles Sr.
Well, I never mentioned the statue, but when you brought it up, I did forget that there's also a statue of Ryan. The boulder was a smiley face emoji. That's the tombstone for Ryan Stiles Sr., but then you started talking about the statue, which, yes, there is also a statue of Ryan Stiles Sr.
Oh, I see where the confusion was, because the statue is in the shape of the smiley face, because that's how we remember Ryan Stiles Sr. So we are talking about, you said it earlier, so we are talking about the same thing. So then the boulder is the Ryan Stiles Sr. smiley face tombstone.
Yes, tombstone, I believe. Basically, the BOOreau Boys just squished Gloria Greenwich into Ryan Stiles' grave.
To be clear, Ryan Stiles Sr.
Not the beloved Canadian comedian.
No, his beloved Canadian father.
R.I.P.
You're going to be saying that for a few more days.
Agreed. Well, I'm not going to these. Are you going to these funerals? I have better things to do.
No, I've got a couple narrator jobs to apply to.
I'm doing voiceover for a hefty commercial.
Hey, why don't we check back in on the boys?
They've been talking this entire time.
Well, Detective Potter, I don't know about you, but I'm famished.
That was really, honestly, Detective Riley, I have to say, the most beautiful summation of this case that I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, I'm pretty peckish too. Want to grab some food? And
before we do, it's just one last thing to take care of. So the BOOreau Boys go back to Gloria and Johnny Greenwich's house, crawl back up the stairs to that haunted bathroom to face that tasteful cabinet.
Okay, Detective Riley, if the evil was inside Gloria Greenwich and we just buried that evil in the center of town underneath that Ryan-style smiley face boulder / tombstone, then there should be nothing wrong with opening this cabinet.
Oh, hold on. Now, Gloria Greenwich was afflicted by the cabinet. The evil, penetrated her. And so I'm just wondering, there might be some evil left in there. Some leftover evil.
I think that she was possessed by this cabinet, though, Detective Riley. And I think that cabinet is now in a tomb underneath Ryan Stiles' tombstone.
Yes, and because the Ryan Stiles tombstone is in the shape of a smiley face, which is only good energy.
Yes.
It has canceled out the evil.
That's my theory too, Detective Riley. So I'm just saying, if you want to maybe move into this house together
and make this our new HQ,
or at least where we go to get away from HQ. I know we work all the time and you probably don't have much need for a medicine cabinet, with your hygiene, but I think that this is kind of a nice place and clearly no one lives here.
Yeah, we could just commandeer the house, use it as a little summer home, bring some dates over.
Yes, do a beer blast out on the back deck.
Yeah, get a trampoline, jump off the roof onto the trampoline.
Well, those are very dangerous, Detective Riley. Okay, but we're only gonna know whether we want to move in here if this cabinet is no longer haunted. So, what do you say we open it?
Okay, same time, but count us down.
Oh, boy.
So Detective Potter counts the BOOreau Boys down. They open the cabinet and stare into it.
I don't feel any different.
Yeah, it looks just like it's got the shelves. There's not much here. Little, bits of crud in the corners, dust.
Yeah, this place needs a cleaning, but I wouldn't say that I'm afflicted with anything, would you?
Evil. No, it seems pretty good to me. All right.
Well, let's move in, Detective Riley.
So, the BOOreau Boys close the tasteful medicine cabinet and close the case of the tasteful medicine cabinet. As the BOOreau Boys pack up their individual studio apartments and move into their new home, there's a little bit of a glint in both of their eyes as they've become close friends over the course of the last several cases.
They know this is the start of something new and wonderful for them. A new leg on their journey. A milestone they didn't expect to hit.
Is it true that the tasteful cabinet was truly rid of its evil?
For as the boys unpack, settle in, and get comfy, the eye of the medicine cabinet glints too.
And so ended the spookiest case the BOOreau Boys have ever taken on, the case of the Tasteful Cabinet.
Who knows what'll happen next Halloween? But surely the boys will move on to less spooky cases in the future? Probably, but they may circle back to some scary ones too. You never know.
Which means our job here seems to be done for the moment, narrator. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to go to theBOOreauBoys.com and submit your clues and suggestions for the next case the BOOreau Boys should take on.
And while you're at it, why don't you leave a rating and review? Tell all your friends and family about the BOOreau Boys too. But don't tell the criminals, because the BOOreau Boys are coming for them.